Hello and welcome, you beautiful people. If you haven't already, sub to help me hit that magical 1k this year. We always like to think of what would we do should the sky burn and mankind scream out its final moments in agony as some cataclysmic event brings on the end of the world. And you know, most of us imagine somehow living through it all, and as the noise dies down, emerging from hiding to live like these guys, Maru and Kiruko, existing in the ruins of society, being free from the oppression of our world, and surviving on our wits alone like our species was always meant to do. Too bad about 99% of us would end up more like these guys, since, you know, reality is often depressing like that. Good thing then that we have anime like Heavenly Delusions, where we can enjoy the apocalypse from the safety of our homes without, you know. Not that the show would focus on the actual end of the world. Rather, it's the post part of the post-apocalypse it follows, and yes, I know that that as a theme is very over and done with, but Heavenly Delusions manages to breathe new life into this often dull and samey setting. It offers a light-hearted but still brutally realistic approach to surviving in the broken cities left behind by the world that once was. A world weirdly human, where those who remember the days of old still cling to the drags for society in their impossible task to rebuild. People still gather in small communities, they maintain hotels, farm and trade goods, and even use the old money wherever they can find it. They do also get together to build walled communities where they are the law and kill and enslave everyone they don't like, forego medical ethics in the pursuit of science, and act like your usual male congoer whenever a girl walks in. So it's not all nice and dandy. After all, it is in human nature to be monsters. But we are not all like that. Take Kiruko and Maru for example, the main duo of the show. Neither was born when the world stopped being the world we know, and so on their journey to heaven the two of them often wonder what was it all like. It's not like they don't know the joys of society. Harkening back to the days of the toilet roll death fights, Kiruko rejoices as the two of them find an unopened package of the stuff, and they even have a toilet to boot. This truly is the pinnacle of modern society. However, it's not all they find. Naturally, when the vast majority of the world's 8 billion inhabitants go from being people to being corpses, there is some of those left behind as well. And sometimes it paints a sad picture for the otherwise cheery duo to find, but also neatly brings out yet another weirdly realistic thing the show does. It's but a passing moment, an insignificant line that at the same time is some of the best subtle world building I have ever seen in an anime, as Kiruko mentions how when society collapsed, most people didn't die in nuclear fire or get mauled by hordes of zombies. No, they simply starved. It's such a sobering thought that instantly grounds the setting, and then it's free to build up the fantastical over the mundane. And there is a lot of the fantastical in Heavenly Delusions. It's not too long into the show when we are greeted with the first taste of science fiction with the Kiru Beam, an energy weapon of immense firepower that of all things uses custom AAA batteries to fire its beams of searing light. And then things take a turn for the otherworldly, as the eldritch man-eaters make their appearance. They are seemingly random beings whose sole purpose is to devour people, and they are nigh on unkillable to boot. It's only the devastating firepower of the Kiru Beam that can seriously hurt one, that and Maru, who for some reason can reach within a man-eater's very essence and kill its soul. And from that point onwards, everything in Heavenly Delusions has an air of the unknowable about it, giving off a similar vibe to Summertime Rendering, that uncanny feeling when nothing is quite as it seems, and the show manages to maintain an excellent balance, building up this mystery, and sometimes giving us a glimpse of the unknown, and sometimes we find out that all that build-up was caused by something completely normal, which in rumors had become much, much more. It's oddly Lovecraftian, not the horror kind, but it has the essence of an air of a normal world, but one in which the veil has thinned to a point where one day, finding a dirty magazine can make the day of a young boy, and the most dangerous thing you'll ever do is search through the ruins of a half-collapsed building, and then the next one you end up fighting a giant spider monster that can freeze you to death in seconds. But all that is just one side of the coin that is Heavenly Delusions. There is also a parallel story, one that is very different from the nitty-gritty journey of Kiruko and Maru, one that takes place in a school. That's right, thought you could escape the seat of learning in an anime that isn't about high schoolers falling in love? Well, tough luck, here we are, once more, in a school with a love story between students. Or a few love stories between a few students, but you get the idea. Here they are in this nice, normal, if highly advanced school, living out their lives with their totally normal superpowers, under constant surveillance by the shady adults that run human tests on them, and wait, what? This isn't a school rom-com after all. Well, I guess it wouldn't be Heavenly Delusions if both stories weren't playing 5D chess with secrets and mysteries. It honestly feels like the whole point of anything and everything in the show is to keep you guessing. You never know what's going to happen or what anything really means. The show makes you think and come up with your own theories, only to shit on them all and not explain a thing. And that's what makes it so appealing to me. Screw isekai and battle shonen with their preset rules. Give me an anime where the world feels realistically unpredictable while still following its own set of laws in order to make sense. A brutal story that feels like life with its ups and downs, but one that still brings on the wondrous aspects of fiction, where events aren't tied to the mundane rules of our meek existence. And well, Heavenly Delusions really delivers on all those fronts. In my book, it's honestly one of, if not the best anime of the spring season of this 2023. It's like the aforementioned Summertime Rendering, an anime that came out of left field and stole the entire show by not being super flashy in one aspect at the cost of others, but instead carefully honing every single piece of the puzzle to its peak and fitting it all together perfectly, creating a show that quickly became one of my all-time favorites. It captivates that feeling of normality amidst the abnormal. Never does the show try too hard to be more than it is, and instead focuses on its own strengths, but it's not like production IG was afraid to splash either when the situation calls for it. Heavenly Delusions never looks bad, and these moments of splashing aren't like Demon Slayer where all the budget was poured into making a certain fight look as jaw-dropping as possible. Here, it's the little things. A bit of fast-paced, well-choreographed fighting here, or a dynamic camera movement here, to emphasize the already pleasant art style and to make a scene pop just that little bit more than usual. In conclusion, Heavenly Delusions is a show that holds no delusions about its own capabilities and instead focuses on being the best version of itself that it can and does it in style. It's both light-hearted and serious at the same time, and in equal measure. A fantastical tale of what equates to normal life for its characters, and it goes from being a post-apocalyptic slice of life into fighting eldritch horrors to a sci-fi school rom-com, and finally refuses to elaborate and leaves, all the while you keep wanting for more. A 9 out of 10 and a must-watch, at least in my opinion. And lastly, before I go, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree or disagree with my verdict? Have you seen and loved Heavenly Delusions already, or is it one that has flown under your radar, at least thus far? If you liked this, like it, dislike if you didn't, subscribe for more anime goodness and to help me reach that magical 1k. Check the links in the description if you want to engage with me outside of YouTube, and have a look at some of my other content if you are so inclined. With this, I have been Cheese, and I hope to see you next time. Ta-ta for now.